Hey, I'm Sam and I Do Design. In today's video, I'm answering all of your questions. Okay, so in my last video, I asked you guys to ask me some questions, and I've got them in front of me, and I'm gonna start answering them now. So we've got Harry Brench here. He says about iPad Pros being expensive, and he would like a cheaper alternative. Is there a different iPad that can do that? Yes, the new 2018 iPad, standard iPad, supports Apple Pencil, and I have used it and it feels great for half the price, so I absolutely recommend the 2018 iPad. So Jeffrey Lee asks about her Instagram page and what sort of things she should be showing on there. I absolutely think that you should only show your best work. I've archived a lot of my projects, so what you can do is go to your posts that you've already posted, and instead of deleting them, you can archive them. That way you don't lose your Instagram posts and you can always check back over them, but the rest of the public won't see them, so only show your best work on Instagram. My girlfriend asks, where do you get inspiration for your design? Lots of places. There are so many things you can do to get inspiration. The most basic of which is Pinterest. Search existing designs, search existing trends, try and find a new thing to do with that. But also actually working at a design consultancy, it's all about solving problems and solving business problems and solving user problems. So it really depends on what your project you're doing. So Mohammed asks about doing product design. If you have a mechanical engineering background, it is absolutely doable. You just need to know the fundamentals of human interactions and human-centered design and user-centered design and things like that. The differences between mechanical engineering and a product designer is how important you think the user is in comparison to how much the product works, if that makes sense. So Imran Taylor asks a really good question. If the first design job you get will reflect what you want to be as a designer down in the future, and I absolutely don't think that. My first job was a graphic designer for an advertising company, and now I work in a design consultancy as a product designer. It really depends on what you can do, and you can sort of move between different types of design as you go through. So this question by Power Brick Gaming asks about the wage you can earn as a product designer. That's a really interesting question. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to do a full video on that in the future. But it's going to be different in every single country and even different in different cities that you're in as well. Try and find a tool online that can localize your sort of area and give you an estimate. I know LinkedIn does something similar. Google has different websites and stuff that you can use. But I really couldn't say about wages in London, for example, as that will be different for across the world. So YouTube commenter Nani asks about design sketching and modeling and things like that. Again, with a mechanical engineering background, you don't need to be a good sketcher to be a good designer. The sketching part is just the most popular online at the moment. It's the most visual thing you can do to get an idea across quickly. So absolutely sketching helps as a designer, but there are ways around that. As long as you've got the knowledge and as long as you communicate effectively, you can be any type of designer that you want. Graphic designer how to asks about my camera equipment. I will quickly show you guys there. And if you also check out my website, there's a full list of all the equipment that I use on there as well, hardware and software. But I use a Canon EOS M50 along with an f2 22mm lens and a dead cat mic on top. So yeah, go check out the website if you want to see everything else. Male Best Hug Breed K asked about Brunel and starting this September. I had a great time at Brunel University. I'm not sure what the course is like right now because all of the teachers that I had at Brunel University I think have since left. But it's still one of the best design schools in the UK, one of the best up there with employability as well. I think you're going to have a great time. So say Sam Does Design says hi. How was the uni part-time work balance? You can do that however you like to do it. I personally had a brief part-time job in second year for the advertising agency that I was working for, but I absolutely recommend it to get your foot in the door, get some design experience. At the end of the day, yeah, I'll say it. At the end of the day, the grade you get at university does not matter. It's all about the experience that you have. And what would you tell your younger self going to university knowing what you know now? I should have read these questions before doing this video. I'd say keep a wider eye on the whole world of design as a whole. I went into university not really knowing about websites like Design or It's Nice That or any sort of news outlet for design. So I didn't really know what the benchmark was for good design. If you have an understanding about what's happening in the design world around you, then you can more effectively design in that design world instead of a little university bubble on the outside. Try and get into the design world as quick as you can instead of just being in your own little bubble. This is another long comment from Chirag Huda. Seems to ask about okay, so learning about design without going to design school and without spending a fortune on courses and online courses. I would say there are so many things that you can learn online on YouTube. There's such a vast range of product design courses out there for free on YouTube, so I'd definitely check those out. All you need to do is type in product designer tutorial or industrial designer or whatever specific type of designer you want to be. And yeah, the difference between a portfolio and a CV is a portfolio is a collection of your work that you're showing visually, and a CV is just a snapshot, bullet points of all the experience and grades that you've got so far. So portfolio, I'd say, is more important because you're visually showing people what you're capable of. And I'll do another video, actually I'm filming that today, so I'll be in the same t-shirt, but I'll go through my portfolio and I'm gonna see if I would employ me to let you guys know what sort of things go into a design portfolio. I've had quite a few questions on here about portfolios and I have slightly skipped over them because I know I'm doing a full video in the future, so just bear that in mind. Sam Johnson, one of my best friends from back home, asks, how I start in the industry, that's quite clear, but how do I start each day? Is a continental breakfast a real breakfast or is it just nonsense? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I start every day with a cup of coffee and normally a bowl of cereal. I like to relax in the morning. I spend a good half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour sat drinking coffee, eating cereal, watching YouTube, and 9 times out of 10, I come into work late because I've had a very long breakfast in the morning. Okay, V Dimensions asks about getting an iPad Pro on top of a Surface Book 2. That's really something that's down to you and what sort of things you want to achieve. So I say try and use pen and paper for a little bit. If you don't feel like you're sketching enough and you need it with you all the time without carrying so many pens, papers and all sorts with you, then look into getting an iPad as well. So Shane Butterbean asks about the prop design job that I had. Oh, they're looking into prop design. Oh yeah, so designing projects without being set a brief from a client or a university. That's always a really difficult thing to do. And everyone really tries to do that, but they start fixing problems that don't really exist, because the #1 key to a successful product is it fixes an issue. So I feel you on that one. I have troubles with that as well. I do things like the weekly design challenge on Instagram, and I do a weekly video here explaining my process for that, so that's good for ideation and iteration design. But if you want to go into prop designing and things like that, you want to be showing the types of ideas behind prop design. You might not need to show actual props that you've made, but if you show a process similar to prop design, maybe you've made furniture, maybe you've made something else in that sort of style, then if you can show that project and show that you're a maker and you're a designer in a different way, then that's going to get you a job as well. It's showing the eagerness to learn instead of actually the skill itself. Okay, so Francesco Vapor is asking about getting a job abroad using the experience that they've got in design. And I would say, because you're a master's student and you've got 6 months experience and 8 months freelance, that's plenty to be able to look for jobs in other countries. It's all about putting the right portfolio together, but absolutely it sounds like you have some great experience ready to start looking for new jobs. And just quickly from Selena on Instagram, I know I'm going to do a portfolio video soon. Should my branding, products and graphics be included in a product design portfolio? Absolutely. Like I said, it's all about showing your design process, your design intent, and your theory behind your thinking instead of the actual thing itself. I'm pretty sure that's everyone. If I have missed your question, I am so sorry, but I'll do that in the next video. This has been fun, so I'm gonna do more of these. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment and hit the bell button. You know the drill on YouTube these days. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.